to be at Dubai back in school. B house, I live in Lagos.
Even back in QC, I was a canning. I used to be that tall, gangling girl with a big head. At least that's how a friend of mine described me to her parents. I was being a chief legal in Mountain House. I came Henrietta Asoka, near Ekwabo, Mountain House. I live in Port Harcourt.
Lape Olumide Abili, Mountain House, live in the UK. Asha, that's my address. Bahasa House.
Elisa Eliko Mohammed, Fujoke House, Abuja, Lashade Adiniji, Ni Alabi. Fujoke House, Lekki, Lagos.
Obiageli Smith, Ni Okeze, Mountain House. I live in the UK.
Omashone, Damford House. I live in the UK.
Oshalewa Moremi Aboderi Olutosi, Damford House, Dokuta, Ogun State.
The former George Rufus and me, Chukudebe Damford. I live in Lagos now.
Titi Adenuga, Mountain House, UK. Uji Sholaja Ogunfora, Damford House in the United States.
Folashade Okogo. I used to be Folashade Oyesanya. In the Mountain House, Ogun State, sometimes in the US as well.
Emilola Lola Ogumba Meru, Obasa, New Jersey, United States of America.
Wando Anyoku. Fujoke House in Seattle, Washington. Commonly Dental. I was commonly Russell in Damfodio in Lagos.
Chimto Afomata, Obasa House, Houston, Texas.
Sylvia Otutu. Now Sylvia Brown Fuma. Obasa House, Lagos.
Gary Nibia, Obong House, Lagos. Rita Imakwe Ebiocha, Emotan House, Lagos, Nakaye, Tolani, now Sowo. Fujoke House, Bushi, Hertfordshire, in the United Kingdom.
Now Olo Shuke, Damford House, Yaba,
Bisi, Abike, Ubashe, Nubi House, Lagos.
Gumeluole, Mountain House, and I live in Lagos.
Manda, Tabot, now Manda, Okod, Obong House, Lagos.
BA, Osio, was Romeo, Fujoke House in Lagos.
This is Salt Abimbola Adefolalu. I live in Lagos now in a Fujoke House.
They were Aderabani Mokwa, Obong House, Lagos.
Christine Igbinosa. I used to be Christine Lunge, Oak House, British Columbia, Canada.
Jamie Johnson, Obong House, Lagos. Kemi Balogun, Emotan House, spend time on all the continents. Beauty Okubere Nyekwemi, Damfodio House, Port Harcourt.
Yola Akichete Sane, Obong House, Frankfurt, Germany.
Errol Rosalind Ayesa, Mountain House, Greenhouse, Philadelphia in the US. Me Adihemi, B House. I live in Lagos.
Bimbola Odebode Afam, I was Bimbo Odebode. I live in Lagos. Jacqueline Uchendu, Mombasa House in the United States.
S.A. Eroto, Obong House, London in the United Kingdom.
Somanika Umbajo, Shambuyomi, Fujoke House, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. This is Aisha Rimi at Fujoke House. Abuja,
Asa House, phase 2, City Group States.
Is Yvonne Yangotu. Me took as I was known back in Houston, Mountain House in Dublin, Ireland.
Gloria Onofeko. I was in Damford House, Lagos.
It used to be Remi Lavinjo. Now I'm Remi Ademulegu. I was in the Fujoke House, Parkview Estate, Ikoyi.
Ralia Babatumi. Mombasa House. I live in Lekki. Shirley Okarite. Emotan House. I live in Lagos.
Ayo Osholake, Obong House. Chijioke Unachuku, now Ugochuku. Fujoke House, Lagos.
Around food, you know, especially when we go home for exerts and come back with food and we're sharing and rushing the food and grabbing at everything. But the most fun one was when we used to go and steal bread from the store behind the kitchen. I think I remember the group of us included, apart from me, included Kingi and maybe Ginachi and a couple of others, I'm not too sure now. You know, and we would go with a stick, and one of the times we were going because we needed a stick to like pull the bread towards you from the rack, and they used to leave the window open, the window to the place open, so we would open it and then hook some bread. And then when people ask, what are you guys doing with that stick? We say we're going to go and beat some person, I can't remember who now. And they'll be looking at us like we're crazy. And one of the last, I think they now discovered that people were coming to steal bread, so they had moved the bread further away from the window and then started blocking the window. And that ended that drama.
I think there were more in the later years than the first few years, because the first few years I was busy trying to overcome the homesickness. Fond memories I have was when we went to Togo. It was a beautiful experience for me, traveling in a group. I'd never done it before. And all I remember in Togo was that I can't remember the French we were supposed to learn, but I remember that we saw some very strange looking people that were going around topless. That was the first time for me, but I loved the fact that I traveled with my classmates to a different part of the world. That was really cool. And then in school, in the boarding house, I think one highlight for me was whenever we used to sneak out to eat. I remember Gary, from somewhere. Ginachi was very daring. Like I said, I had different memories with my closest friends. At some point, Ginachi was my closest friend, and she was very daring. Where she used to get the boiling ring from, I don't know, but she will get it, and geisha will appear from somewhere, and we'll make the eba from Gary and eat. So that I remember that a lot, especially when you don't like the food that's been offered at the dining hall.
One of my fond memories from QC is when we come back either for midterm or to resume a new term, and we've just feasted on all the food that we've been able to bring in. We've managed to bring in, I don't want to use that S word, and we just feast on it, no lights out.
Particular fond memory from QC, there are too many to honestly remember or to hone in on a particular one. For fun's sake, well, I guess I can think about maybe what's it called now? Prep days or prep times, basically. Prep times are usually supposed to be taken seriously. But needless to say, we would all get up to mischief depending on, and I think I was one of the chief mischief makers in my class. So, there was probably always one thing or the other, to laugh or joke about, basically, and try not to get in trouble with the prefects.
A particular fond memory from QC would always be buying chocolates at the gate. At the gate, that's Mama Bolubi's house. That with 5 naira, I could get like 10 bars of chocolate. Once I finish the chocolate, the prep becomes over for me.
I think the human Christmas tree we made, performing on the particular night of the Christmas Carol at Unilag. The concoctions we used to make, but we put milk, I think that was needle, and Milo powder in a cup, and just be eating it raw. We wouldn't mix it with water. Then we had cabin biscuits that we would now soak in a mixture of the tea when we made it, And also I learned how to make couscous ones. It was geisha with gari, and then add some extra salt and then extra pepper powder. And that was really a nice experience on my northern roommate, Khadija. She also had their oboe they used to play.
Our days in Immortal 4, Kemi, Shelley and I, it was brilliant. They made my stay.
All the shenanigans and the trouble we got into, going to see Shalimar, delegation, and just making childhood friends who are still my friends today. So that's one of my great memories of QC.
The choir and the karate club.
We cartooned some seniors. Then we had a principal who didn't find it funny. She set up an investigative panel. We eventually rounded all of us up, called an emergency assembly in the afternoon. It was very embarrassing. And then we flogged us.
It looked like the whole class was sleeping. Our teacher, Miss Campson, she made a grammatical error, and the whole class erupted, and they started singing, "You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me." So it was like we were punished. The teacher didn't come back to our class ever again, which was the downside of it, because She was our history teacher, and I liked history.
I had a fun time in QC, but one of my memorable times in QC was going to the top box where we got our snacks.
It was actually the visiting Sundays. I love to see my family, and then the ambience, the vibe at that time where other parents would be around, even those that were dating each other or quarreling, you would find them sitting with each other's parents. So visiting Sunday was really a favorite of mine that I would look forward to. Used to be every 2 weeks, after we have suffered through the 2 weeks prior.
I was with sisters who supported me. I lived close to the high school, so I enjoyed myself going to high school, coming back.
The dancing in the quadrangle after in-house sports was an expression of pure joy that it's very hard to recreate all these years later, but still brings me joy when I remember it.
My favorite memory in Queen's College, I think I used to love the talk shop, the meat pies at the talk shop. That's something I always looked forward to, and for me that was one of the best memories.
The particular fun memory I have of Queen's College days is actually visiting Sunday, when we'll have all kinds of treats brought to us by our parents or guardians. Sometimes a small golden cooked food, and we all gathered and shared it with each other, feasting and having fun.
Some students gave a nickname to a teacher, and the whole set was burnished to pick the stones where the present sports complex is. So we picked the stones before it was built, and we had fun because we were taking photographs, 1/7 the punishment. On October 1st, I remember we always used to go to, what do you have to say, TBS for March Pass. I just seem to remember, all the times we come back from the house sports and everybody's singing, making noise in the quadrangle, all along the corridors. We really had fun as little girls growing up. And there was this bonding, singing, hailing your houses, jumping to other houses to join them when it was time to sing for them. Going to prep in the evenings, I really thought it was quite cool going from the dormitories back to class.
Well, when we have to go for prep in the afternoon after siesta, then we got to be open. We enter there, take our meal, we sit together in our house, we come to the shop, I will take you to the classroom while I'm reading, I'll be reading some there myself.
And the first visiting day, it was a new experience. I had packed my things, I wanted to go back home, for my dad's sake, it was an experience you have to get. And the visiting day was a lovely experience. Your parents come, your siblings, families come, people you have been missing, you get to see them, again. So those are very, very nice memories. Having friends, going to prep together, then fellowship. I got born again in Queen's College. So that's foundation. My Christian life was right from school. I really do appreciate that.
I always wanted to be a boarder, and it took 1 year for my parents to allow me. So for me, QC boarding house just really represented freedom. I didn't really know anything about the school, but coming into the boarding house that I always wanted to come to was just the best experience for me. I mean, there were wicked seniors, I won't lie, but this was what I wanted. So I think it was just the whole boarding house experience, leaving home. I was quite happy to be a boarder.
Everything really. But the most striking one to me was the dining hall, because I was a dining hall prefect then. With the prefects, we had special meals, and our meal was well made. So we had the privilege of sharing our meal with some of our friends.
One that particularly I remember with fond memories is when we used to go to TBS
to practice and march for October 1. We enjoyed all manner of things. We had part pop, we had some snacks and all of that.
Going for lit. Going for lit and going for the Red Cross events at the different schools around Lagos with my classmates and prepping for the dance routines that we put together.
The fifth person was already on the 200 mark when I got the baton, and I overtook her, and my mommy ran. We met, and nobody remembered who came first.
The inter-house sports, I really love that when we get ready, do match casts and things like that.
We were doing the inter-house sports.
QC was nice. I didn't, in truth, I really didn't like my time at QC. In truth, but I thank God.
The beauty pageant.
I remember music blaring on Founders Day, I think. Remember, being caned.
The 100 meters final race, senior. Fun because honestly it was a photo finish race. All sports and the match pass, the practice.
Eating, the foundation, making jollof rice with big boiler.
I'm glad that was where I got born again, playing the piano, but I didn't really learn so much about it. My closest friends now were friends from Queen's College. I think back to how those friendships started.
Just having our baths outside.
Friendship, the sisterhood. I made a lot of lifetime friends that I'm still in contact with today.
But on visiting day, you really just got to see everyone, your parents, your friends, your cousins, your relatives, and all the jollof that we used to sneak in.
Playfulness is kids. Because today I wrote my last exam and out of the school.
I don't have a particularly fun memory.
When I first got in Form 4, there was this song that had just come out. I think it was called Lies La Bonita, and a few of my friends encouraged me that I could do Mrs. 4W, and that just from where I was coming from, that just literally blew my mind. I was like, how am I going to do it? They said, yes, you have to catwalk, you have to walk this way, wear swimsuit. And I was asking, and I was telling them, I have nothing to offer. And my friends kept saying, but you're pretty, you're this, you're that. And those were compliments I never really heard. And, it just, coming into Queen's College gave me some more confidence in myself. They didn't swell my head, but I had to deal with them. I started knowing who Rennie was at that point in time. And I'm glad I still have friends today.
Lapu Olumide and Ike were singing Adam and Eve in the garden. Based on my relationship with all my classmates, they became friends. All the times when we had little escapades, either going to get corn from Bababolu's farm and boiling it with a boiling ring, and eating it in the middle of the night while studying for WAEC. I remember those times, and I remember all the times when we had to, act all grown up as prefects, and the pleasure of being head girl.
I was a day student, and every day after school we used to walk together, about 4, 5 or 6 of us to the bus stop, joking and laughing.
But when we had food in the classroom, somebody would bring food from home. And in the days of the boarding house, when
My history teacher, Mrs. Ogunbeku, I like her because she was a very confident teacher.
I had Miss Ogunbeku, Mrs. Bachulaye, Mrs. Onumere, and I had Mrs. Obi, our RE teacher. I also liked her very much.
Mrs. Martins.
Our French teacher, Mrs. Martins. I just liked the way she was all put together.
It was Mrs. Teresa Chukuma, our principal at some point.
They were all equally good. They were the best teachers and they molded me into what I am today.
Mrs. Beatrice Akikwedu taught me maths junior class.
Mrs. Chukuma, I had mistress for one of our principals for a while, and we very fondly called her Trixie. I think she's probably my favorite. Mr. Ogun Sonwo, he was a math teacher. He was very kind, very attentive. There was a time I was sick and I was off school for about 6 weeks. So when I came back, he called me up to SPA, so I was able to finish the course and pass very well.
Can't remember.
I remember our math teacher, drawing teacher, the music teacher, Mrs. Onuzo, Mrs. Zapata, the music person, and towards the end, when Dunisha Yowo's mom came, she too was a positive influence.
Made economics so easy for me that I ended up reading economics and statistics. My teacher was Mrs. Okari. I actually told her after I left, I went to thank her for bringing out the best in me.
Mrs. Okani, she was our geography teacher in Form 3.
I don't remember her name, to be honest. She was my maths teacher, and it was because of her that I did very well in maths.
Mrs. Enemo, who is the CRK teacher? Mr. Bankole, my economics teacher. It's so easy to understand.
Mrs. Okani taught me geography. Before she was my teacher, I always liked her. I liked the way she looked. She gave me that love of geography, and I was so happy when she became my teacher, and I ended up studying geography.
My math teacher, she made every fear of math leave me.
This is Olateru Olagbegi. I loved the way she looked. No full makeup. To entertain us in her house. And she gave us one advice. Talk to somebody who you intend to marry. Let the person see you naked. Your face naked.
Olateru Olagbegi, she taught us English, friendly, and to make us enjoy what she taught us.
Mother Martins, because I loved French and she was always so nicely dressed and so funky, even though she was really a disciplinarian.
She was an English teacher, very pleasant and gentle. Mrs. Bajulai, very lovely, very caring.
Was the art teacher because art was my favorite subject. But the teacher I will never forget was Mrs. Lingat, maths teacher.
It's too good because she was just elegant. Tall, to young girl that I was, spoken, and I just say that I also speak well. I don't think it's really her influence.
All my teachers, all of them, they helped in shaping our lives.
Maths teacher, but I can't remember the name, but I enjoyed maths. I absolutely loved her. I love maths, and she made me love maths even more. She had a lovely, a very fun way of teaching math. Energy she used to teach us and how she made it, so simple.
Mrs. Olateru Olagbegi, like her figure, and she was very beautiful.
The bank colleague, they made economics very understandable, very relatable for me. And a lot of the things he taught me, I carried on to university.
My biology teacher in Form 3. She made learning biology fun for me, accessible to probably a big reason why I became a doctor. I'm a practicing physician now, so, well, I'm a physician.
Mrs. Lingat, she was our math teacher, inspired me to love math. She never taught me, but she was a French teacher, Madame Inye. She used to be our house mistress. Whenever we have students versus teachers, basketball and volleyball. With all the young students, she was such an energetic lady and very fair and straight to the point.
I had several favorite teachers, but Madam Martins, who taught French, did stand out.
Mrs. Badua, who taught chemistry, and Mrs. Mohammed was my history teacher. She taught us about Mansa Musa and the Mali Empire. I was useless in chemistry, and she would take time out during her break to teach me chemistry. It didn't work, but I do appreciate her efforts.
Mrs. Oreson to teach in music. She was European very nicely. When she found out that then to play the piano before coming to QC, I could play music. She was so excited with me. I used to prep in the music room, which was a great privilege. She would give me the keys and all, and sometimes she would make me babysit her son. Then by the time we were getting into Form 3 that we had to choose subjects, I dropped music. In fact, the woman was very angry. It was my favorite teacher.
Mrs. Ojoku taught us biology. Why? She discovered that I had eyesight challenges and encouraged that I go for an eye test. It was when I did that I discovered I was short-sighted. And of course, the necessary things were done. But not knowing affected my grades and it brought about low self-esteem. But after the eye test, it improved my self-esteem, and of course, my grades started to pick up.
I don't remember his name, but I did love art, and it was just because I think to some extent the classes were sort of unstructured and free-flowing. We talk about Rembrandt and all the great artists.
I don't have anyone, but my favorite was former principal, Mrs. Chukuma. She was the epitome of love.
Mrs. Akimbe had a way of making sure everybody answered the question in the class.
Mrs. Daudu, because she loved me. She was my family.
English and English literature, and I think that has English has always been my favorite subject, even from primary school. So I guess the person who taught us was also a good teacher, Mrs. Olater Olave.
I have a favorite teacher. I did have my house mistress, however, Madame Inye. She was a French teacher. I'm not sure she ever actually taught me French. But yes, we did strike up a great relationship anyhow.
Mrs. Onozo, the French teacher, took her subject very personally, and I remember a test that she gave and we didn't do really well in the test. She was so upset and she punished us. And you know, while serving the punishment, I was like, no, this is not going to happen again. I do not want to serve this punishment anymore. And from there on, you know, I just picked up interest in the language, and I went on to study French in the university.
Mrs. Linga, I loved that woman. She had a way of making us understand her subject, which was maths. And I guess because she had an accent, there was always something to laugh about in class. You couldn't sleep in her class.
Mrs. Lingard with fondness because she taught us maths. She was a Filipino teacher. I don't know if everybody remembers that. And I love the way she used to pronounce all our names, all the end names, and Ngozi, and Wando, and Neka. Particularly nice to me, or liking anybody in particular, but I remember Mommy Morondia because she was in my dorm and she used to take my water.
Maybe apart from maybe the head girl, I don't remember.
I had a senior that was more like my friend, not favorite, Oyinda Mola Keru.
I didn't have a favorite senior. Again, maybe that was down to being, you know, mischief. Some people thought I was cute and everything, but I think after they associated with me, or you know, they realized that this one was just really more of mischief. That
Well, there was this senior that was in the opposites, Funke Idris, and then I was in Form 1 and I was punished, was crying. Then she came along and asked me my name, so I told her Aisha Idris. And because her name too, Funke Idris, so she just asked me to go. And from then on, she protected me from being punished.
I don't know if I would say, you know, a favorite senior, but one person comes to mind, and that is Jamila Zayad. I remember that I was ill, and I remember that I couldn't, you know, carry myself, you know, to the bathroom. And she took me there and she gave me a bath. It would be my cousin, Fumi Ogunusi, now Fumilayo Ajanaku. It was because of her being in Queen's College that my mom, having spoken to her dad, thought it might be a good idea for me to also come to Queen's College. And as seniors go, you know, she thanked me just the one time. And what was it she asked me to do? Help her to wash her blouse for the next day. And I thought that was so simple. So I didn't have any horrible memories of having my senior. And of course, she was always beautiful and radiant to look at.
Those seniors were very mean. I didn't have any favorite. I avoided them.
It was yesterday. I was spent. I don't know what it was. It was a summer, and I spent a lot of time going to her house, and it was just, you know, she was just a good person, and you know, I remember her.
Was Senior Rahila Dankaro. She was so sweet. She didn't bully me. She didn't ask for my elder brother's details so she could, you know, slide into his, what we call DM now. She was nice.
Eva Lucy Okoro, she was a year my senior, very nice and warm. We had the Abia girls, that were my door. Very nice. They used to bring fruits from, I think their parents lived in Ivory Coast then, and so when we resumed, we could see apples and grapes and really exotic foods, and they were really nice. There's another senior, I saw him in Shadan, I can't remember. I feel so bad because we met at the QC event and she remembered me and I couldn't remember her.
I was a day student, so I didn't really have a favorite senior because I didn't spend that much time with them.
Lots of nice seniors, but Tony Majakodini happened to be one of my favorite seniors.
My school mother, Senior Yejide, she would come to me, tidy up my wardrobe, ask me if my homework was completed.
Senior Tony Majakodini, she was a runner, and I loved that about her, and I wanted to be like her.
Was the very first head girl when we were in Form 1, Sylvia Cookingham. I thought she was the epitome of elegance and composure and class.
The Apata at the time, now FA2. She was my favorite senior and she was my school mother. She was very nice, she was very warm. She still is very nice and very warm.
I think she was in Form 3, my Form 1 was my school mother, Binta Dako. Because she kind of spoiled us. She would was nice enough to get water for us at night, so we didn't have to fetch water to take a shower in the morning, and she'll have the buckets for another of her school daughters every morning, and she was really nice, looked out for me and my friends a lot.
Yinka Williams, she was the head girl, and she was in the same dormitory, and she was in Obasaki House. I liked her so much because she was very calm, cool, and collected, as we said it then.
Senior Nike, I think she's the wife of a pastor right now. Why was she my favorite? In the same house, and of all the seniors, you know, she was in my dormitory, and she was that kind of senior that just made you feel calm. Senior Pedro Onabanjo really looked after me. She would look out for me, check up on me, make sure I have everything, and got me settled in Form 1. That was my school mother, Joke Oshodi. She was my favorite senior in school.
Her name is Senior Saratu Tulundu, and she was my school mother. She was so kind and loving.
Oh, she's very loving, very caring, looking out for us. She was my bunkmate when I came into the boarding house in Form 2, and she helped me. She was a nice senior. I mean, there were wicked seniors like Gumi and Baba that had nothing to do with me or my dorm or my house, but Oyinda was very, very good to me. Okay, when we were in lower 6, we had the senior upper 6. Favorite senior. I think I had the favorite senior because I did my A-levels in this college. All of them, they were our friends because we were all doing A-levels together.
Mentioned my school mother, Egunfati Regun, and also because she was caring, and Tolu Shomoye, both of them.
In my Form 1, when I first got into Queen's College, was Fumi Ogulisi, Maureen Taka. But my favorite senior when I was leaving school was my best school mom, Foluke Mubereola. She used to be Foluke Oladapo.
Funny enough, I can't pick anybody in particular, but I had a group of class of 82, they were in Form 3, and I absolutely adored the Aishas. I used to call them Black Aisha and Yellow Aisha. Till date, I still keep in touch with the Aishas, especially Black Aisha.
Sylvia Cookingham, she was the head girl when I was in Form 1, and she inspired awe and respect, and she was the true replica of what a queen should look like.
Favorite senior. I had a lot of favorite seniors.
Wow.
I'm not sure I had anyone I liked more than all the other ones, yes.
I always like people who were very neat. So sister was senior Shidra did too much. She was a head girl. I really liked her. Your Mashona's big sister. I liked her.
Yinka Williams. She was my favorite because she helped me to study more.
She was my cousin, Mola. She always looked out for me.
Senior Fumi, can't remember her surname now, but she always used to punish me. She punished me so much that when it was siesta time, I would just go and kneel by her bedside and she would just look at me and shake her head and she said, just go. That when you become a senior, you understand why I don't like noise. And honestly, when I became a senior, I hated noise, and I had a student that just used to remind me of myself how I used to make noise.
Was actually somebody in our year group, she was in my class, but she was like my school mother. I was quite a sickly child and she pushed me, she supported me. She also helped to bring out the best in me. She was such a calm lady, you know, for beginnings of weather. I just saw her as a calm lady and I just liked her. From afar, I liked her and, you know, I became a friend.
I had a favorite senior. Most of the seniors were generally bullies, but I don't think but when I was in Ife, Ola's cousin Fumi was somebody I got to respect quite a lot. Well, my school mother too was nice enough. Okay, and yet among my sister's friends there was Senior Monica that helped me when I was being bullied. When I would go to the bathroom to bath and I would cover with a wrapper, they would come and pull the wrapper away, or they'll go above the stall and be peeping in from the other side and call my name. So she was the one that helped me learn to bath without all that stress.
I was a day student, so I really didn't interact. I was in and out of the boarding house, so I did not have any because I didn't know the seniors well enough.
This is going to be surprising. They didn't know that they were. It was Kemi Okulowo. She was a pretty black lady. Can't remember.
Lorena, in fact, we still have a relationship. Why? She was just so sweet and nice.
Ugo Udensi. She was in the Fujoke house, and she was just that person that was interested in my quietness, and she would say hi all the time, and she said to me, "Oh, yeah, come, let's talk. You have to talk. You have to talk. You can't be this quiet forever." And for some reason, I just stumbled on her obituary, you know, after she had passed and buried, and that just hurt so much. Wherever she is, I wish her eternal bliss, and may she find rest in her soul, in the mighty name of Jesus.
Titi Lakeru she was the head girl then. I mean, it didn't really impact my life that much. So, I don't remember having any favorite senior.
QC 40 years after. Thank you, Jesus.
I want to use this medium to campaign that our reunions in Lagos, if we save all that money from jetting around the world and we put it into the school, we'll probably bring it back to a standard that possibly our grandkids can go to, if not our own kids. I think most of our kids would have finished that stage by now.
I didn't have any favorite senior. They were me.
Know who you are. The answer to most issues is an identity, understanding of identity. So begin at a very young age to know who you are, and who you are is rooted in who brought you to this earth. That is your God.
The anniversary,
you know, in Finland, which was in my dormitory in the Fujoke house. There was a day I was very sick with malaria, and she actually nursed me back to wellness. She took me to the sick bay. In the middle of the night, I had this horrible fever, and she took care of me, brought down my temperature with very cold water. She stayed up with me all night. She's still my favorite senior.
Quite a few of them, because I was so young as well. I went to QC at age 9, and so I had quite a lot of them who literally just looked after me all the time. I mean, every time, all the time. So I won't pick one so I don't offend anyone, but all the seniors were very nice to me, and they all used to give me their water because I was too young I was too small to carry a bucket. So whenever we went to have our showers, they would all give me water, and some would even heat it up for me because I was always cold.
It's a very senior that I didn't like. My really favorite senior because I had senior sisters in school, so I was shielded off all that junior senior crap. And I was a day student for the better part of my school years, so I was good on seniors. I had 2 older sisters in front of me.
senior.
Energy and the strength you have enjoyed now, it fades so fast.
I think just relax a little bit more. You know, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't worry so much. Things work out. You know, step out of myself. Get out of the box. Mix more and be a bit more friendly than I was at that time.
Make more friends. Yeah, make more friends. And just enjoy yourself. Teenage years are short. And before you know it, you've gone past it. So I was more serious then.
It's those things that you really wanted to do, then if you come again, you better get them done. So I wanted to ride horses. I started riding at 50 plus. I wanted to play the drum. I started drumming at 50 plus. And then I also wanted to travel the world. I think that's kind of worked out after I got married, and I was glad I was able to fulfill that dream. But drumming and horse riding were things I had to take on in my early 50s. And honestly, I wish I had taken them much earlier in my life because they give me so much pleasure.
Self would be, it's okay to be fair in complexion. Yeah, I had a little bit of issues around that color thing.
That's what you do your teen self. Don't sweat the small stuff, everything falls into place in the end. Do your work first time around, and then just keep it moving, and have fun while you're at it.
To myself, to my teen self, I want to be confident and be strong and resilient. Continue to push for greater heights. And don't let anything weigh you down. Challenges are surely going to come, but you have to have the resilience to overcome such challenges. Having at the back of my mind that whatever I go through is for a season. It doesn't last forever. It will come and it will pass.
To believe in yourself, to be confident, to look out for each other. Sisters really do need to look out for each other, and above all, have faith in God and trust that everything will be all right in the end.
Life to be honest and not worry too much about what other people think of you, as long as you do the right thing. Do the right thing, be nice and kind to others.
Please speak up a bit more and be. No, I was adventurous, so I can't say be more adventurous. That would be terrible.
Not to be so scared of boarding. I was scared of the boarding house, and that's why I wasn't too keen on being a boarder. But I see now in hindsight that the boarders were the ones who had real fun. So maybe if I would have wanted to be in boarding house, maybe not in Form 1, but at least from Form 2 onwards, 2 or 3. So that's what I would say to my teen self.
Well, enjoy your life and maybe be more serious with various things, because soon enough you are old. So be more serious about the various things you do. That's just what I'd say.
Oh my God! I wish I knew that word intentional. Oh, I would have been more intentional about life. I thank God for where I am, how far He has brought me. But if only I knew that word intentional, which I've taught to my daughters, be intentional. When you are intentional, and then it brings about everything. Even the sky will be your limit. So that advice I would give to my teen self. I was a day intentional.
Working. I mean, thank God I did well, but I could have done better. But I thank God. I really thank God.
I enjoyed Queen's College with my classmates, but I didn't know my juniors. I didn't have time for them. So if I had to repeat it, I will enjoy life with everybody, not just with my classmates and my seniors.
Don't worry. All the problems that seem so large now, as you get older and you look back, they wouldn't seem so big anymore. My second piece of advice, I know I'm only supposed to give one, but the second one is be kind to other students. Be empathetic to other students. You don't know what they're going through. You
can't see it inside their brain. So just do your best to be kind.
Never give up in life, and even if they are not doing well, they should just keep striving.
I will tell my teen self, just be yourself. Just be yourself, you know, be yourself, and just live. I think I went through QC being myself.
Is to step out with God in everything you're doing. Commit it into God's hands and He will bring it to pass.
What advice would I give to my teen self? I would probably say that I should be more accommodating, more social, because I'm an introvert really. Try to make friends and accommodate other people's opinions. And I just realized now that people don't like the question why. Unfortunately, I picked that up from my father, who, if he had to do anything, he had to justify. So my why is not to annoy anybody. My why actually is to understand what you're saying so I can process it accordingly.
My teen self, remain focused. Whatever you set your mind to do, you can accomplish it.
The advice I would give my teen self is that as a teenager, one should be more loving, relate more with your friends, and think less about things happening in the environment. Just be focused on your studies.
What I would give my teen self is to live life to the fullest. You know, have no regrets. Be intentional about life. Take your focus on your goals, and irrespective of challenges, go for it.
To actually be a bit more serious, which I find surprising, but I realized that I kind of overestimated how smart I was. I don't think I put in as much effort as I should have. I mean, I got by quite well, but to my teen self, I would say, you know, face the books a bit more.
To be very intentional, because then we had some classmates that were not carried away by teenage exuberance, but some of us like me, I was. So, but I enjoyed it because I had to live my teenage life.
Would be to worry less. I used to worry a lot, but now that I'm more mature, I'm more aware of the greatness of God in my life. I really just don't worry as much as I used to do when I was much younger.
I will be more open-minded, try and live life to the fullest. Don't shy away from anything. Do anything you can do when you're young, because you never know, you may be too afraid later on in life to try.
I think I'm happy and confident in myself and where I am right now.
To be confident, to be calm, and then to study very hard. Of course, it will take you to greater heights.
The advice I'll give my teen self is breathe, take it easy, and enjoy your time as a teenager. Life comes at you fast as you get older.
I found in all these years that the decisions you make get you to where you are in life. I have told myself to be very careful about my decisions. But at the same time, I realize also that at any point in time, you have the choice of changing, of rewriting your life story. It's all in your power. So do not worry about little things. You have the power to change. You've got on your side, especially.
All the things you worried about and thought you didn't know what to do about. If I could go back and talk to my teen self, I'd tell her, you're beautiful, you're smart, and it's gonna be okay.
Tell my teen self that I'm enough. To push harder. I gave up too easily.
I'll just say keep being yourself and work on things that you think you need to improve.
When I was in QC, I had no breast and I had no bottom. I was as flat as a plank. So I'm gonna tell my teenage self, don't sweat the little stuff. Everything will come in due season. Concentrate on the things that you like and ace them. From that, to become the best that you could be?
As a teenager, I worried a lot about my appearance because I had pimples, I had acne, and I felt that was all life was about. So the advice I'll give my teens is that don't worry about your appearance, what you look like. Just be comfortable with yourself. People will love you as you are. Just discover who you are. Be comfortable with yourself. You know, celebrate yourself. Don't worry about what people think or whether they will accept you. All those things don't matter. Just be comfortable. Discover who you are. Know what your mission is and go after it.
Soar as high as the eagle can soar. You know, the eagle rides on the wings of the storm. It's not bothered by it, it cruises. And I know it's not too late to even achieve greater things that came to my mind those years.
Enjoy yourself, everything will be okay, but put in the hard work when you're younger. Don't stress the small stuff, make good friends because they'll carry you through life.
Just chill and everything will be alright.
I will tell my that things self. Periods aren't always fun. So let them take their time coming. There's a long time they'll be around for, so don't even be in a hurry at all.
Studied more. I should have listened to my father to concentrate in my studies, but then alhamdulillah.
Not to worry too much. I cried a lot days before we were due to come back to school. I was miserable before. I should have enjoyed the days leading up to going to school.
There's nothing in terms of changing how I was then, you know. I just used to live my life basically and have fun.
Just be you, I guess, live in the moment and explore a bit more. My parents were in a hurry to get me into university quickly. They felt I'm so tall, so I was quickly rushed into JAM, rushed into Unilag. But now, looking back, I wish I had, you know, this year's, my daughter taught me something. There's something called a gap year. I wish I had done that then, you know, just some time to discover yourself. I still would have done medicine because I love my profession, but probably enter university after having acquired some skills I've always loved, and I'm still trying to do them today because I never found the time to do them. So for my teen self, I would have loved more time to discover and acquire some skills I would have loved to acquire before I enter university. Because once you start that journey from university is a job, and from job, family, you find that so many dreams just remain as dreams.
To be less afraid, more daring, and more willing to take chances.
Chatting online, but seeing them physically after 40 years has been awesome. I want to especially talk about beauty, and I had to tell her. When we went on the boat ride to Camp Ikare, I was looking at myself that I'm scared to get into the boat with my 2 feet. And there was beauty with one leg. She let 4 people carry her into the boat on her wheelchair. I have to tell her that, sis, I admire your courage. And to find out that she even came from Port Harcourt. So she took a plane from Port Harcourt to Lagos, went on a boat ride, and here we are. So my sisters are just amazing.
The camaraderie, the love, the kindness, the giving, everything about it has been fantastic. The organization, the thoughts behind everything, the committee, the planning committee, all of them deserve the hugest thank you and round of applause. It's just been awesome. I'm so glad I was able to make it.
It's been so beautiful. I wouldn't have thought that Lagos would be this nice. I thought Tanzania would be better, but someone convinced me to choose Lagos. And it's been awesome. It's as though people went over themselves, reaching out, encouraging as many sisters to be here as possible, sponsoring people, ensuring that we come and have a nice time. And our sisters that hosted us Kemi and Ola. Thumbs up to both of you. Beautiful time spent. And then, the committee did a great job. They did a great job. So I've seen so much love, I've seen so much giving, I've seen so much sacrifices just to ensure that everybody is happy. And this is honestly very well appreciated. We saw it and we are happy that it's there, and I'm so glad that someone has said this is the mother of all reunions. Yes, it is. I'm not sure we are going to have it as good as this anymore, but I hope we will, right? I hope we will. I hope the next one will be better than this one. Thank you, committee.
Projects that we donated to the school, the lunch and all of that, and seeing my Blue sisters, a number of whom I haven't seen since leaving QC, and it's just been lovely. It's been heartwarming. I've been filled with gratitude that we're all alive and well and able to meet again, and hopeful that we will be able to stay in contact and meet once in a while. Not as long as 40 years again.
Seeing all the wonderful self-assured women, it's almost difficult when you try to correlate between what we were then, all the fun-loving little girls, and I'm now seeing all these women, who are authorities in their own fields, people who've done their own things. It's just amazing, and there's such a sense of pride to belong to a group, of people like this, I wish everyone well, I hope we get the opportunity to meet and interact like this, again, whether it's one-to-one, whether it's as a group, but we all just appreciate each day more, as we get older. Thanks to the organizers of this, it's been great.
Coming here was like homecoming for me. I felt so good seeing everybody, hugging everybody, the warmth, the love. In fact, I don't even know what to say. I'm so overwhelmed with seeing everyone. So maybe when I get back, that's when it will dawn on me that it was a lovely, lovely, lovely time out. And I hope we meet more, we connect more, see each other more. Like at this age, we only meet each other. So I pray we just keep this relationship moving on and on and on and on. Thank you.
What has been consistent is the sisterhood, the commitment that all sisters have, to enjoy themselves, to reconnect with the sisters that they used to be friends with, and even to forge new connections with perhaps those that we weren't close with at that time. So this is a great opportunity. Some of us are meeting after 40 years, and for me and some of us, it was the first time we also went back to Queen's College, actual school. So these are some of the things that I would not forget.
So we have so many different packages that we've been given, and everything shows a lot of thoughtfulness and love and care. But I think what is the most memorable thing about the package is the fact that so many sisters turned up, and we're all filled with smiles. We're properly relaxed, and we're just sharing good vibes, positive vibes, and that's the beauty of sisterhood. That's what stands out for me the most in the anniversary package. Sisters, I love you all. Happy 40th anniversary, and may God keep us till we do our 50th, 60th, 70th, and who knows, 80th anniversary. God bless us, God bless Nigeria, God bless QC. Thank you.
Seeing all my sisters in the same place, hanging out, laughing, eating, chatting. It's amazing. It's taking me back years. It feels like back in the day when we're all in QC.
The love, the sort of generosity, everybody just basking in the love and feeling like we're 16 again, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16. It's been a really good experience, and I've just loved every moment of it, and just want to thank everyone who's been involved in the organization. You guys, you have done us really proud. And that's about it for me.
Thank you.
I was so happy to see classmates I hadn't seen in 40 years. Some of us left Nigeria, some of us in different parts of the country, from the north, south, east, and I was just so happy to see them. I was so happy to see that we're doing well. We were able to relate. It was like continuing from back then, you know. So that made me so happy. And then also the talks that we had, the talks on life pension and also wills and estate, you know, advice, menopause and stuff like that. That was really great. I'd like to say thank you to the committee members that put this together. It was not easy, but I really thank them and much gratitude for pulling this off. And I pray that we would have more years to celebrate.
It's been amazing. This is the first reunion I've attended. It's been very meaningful. I like the fact that it was done in Nigeria, in the school we went to, and it's been lovely, lovely meeting up with my old classmates. I want to give a shout out to all the organizing committees. I want to give a shout out to the sisters who hosted us. That was, you know, very kind and very nice of them. And I just generally had a lovely time. Looking forward to seeing you all again soon. Thank you.
The joy that showed up in everyone's faces, their voices, the laughter, the love, the joy of sisterhood, that yes, we can still make things sparkle, individually and collectively. That's it, and I believe this will continue. Thank you.
There's so many things. You know, I was telling one of the girls some days back that I wish I could bottle up everything I have felt since the 29th and take it in teaspoonfuls over the next few days. I wish I could just keep. It's been wonderful to see people I haven't seen in 40 years. It's been really nice to have to share this experience. This is the largest number. We're about 63 or so that have come together this time. This is the largest number of class of 84 girls that have ever gathered before since middle school in 84. So it's just, there's too many things to describe, too many memories we have created, places we visited together. It's just been wonderful. I'm really, really grateful to God that I'm here to experience this.
Is the positivity of the sisters. Everybody has come here to have a really good time, to forge new friendships, renew old ones, and just have a really good time. Nobody has come to rain on anybody's parade or make anybody feel bad, and I appreciate that. I really, really do. It's been amazing the way we've all come together and, you know, supported each other all the time. So yeah, I'd come for another reunion, definitely. I've really enjoyed this one. Thank you.
What stands out most is the sisterhood. I haven't seen some of these women in 40 years and I absolutely love them. And I find that they're so supportive. I see how they're supportive of each other and of me. They're not judgmental, which I love. You understand? So it's been a great experience.
In this 40th reunion is gratitude. Gratitude, first of all, to God for the gift of life, that we've been able to come here to celebrate 40 years after graduation. Gratitude for the bond of sisterhood, which has really been fully manifested in this experience. In planning it, in getting together, in reconnecting, and having us all come to this place from all the different parts of the world with all our beautiful energy, passion, and experience and love. What stands out for me the most in this reunion is gratitude.
I'm not sure if I think it's not something, it's a feeling of unity, a feeling of love, a feeling of togetherness, a feeling that I'm my sister's keeper, a feeling of togetherness. It's the unity that stands out most
to me.
Everything about this reunion has been amazing. The outing we went to the beach, everything, going to Ola's house, meeting friends that I've not seen in the past 40 years. So it's really amazing.
The love, the coming together, the fun, the putting aside whatever differences we may have had in school and coming together to enjoy ourselves. It's just so lovely to see. Our sisters from all over, outside Lagos, outside Nigeria, UK, America, everybody coming together and enjoying this 5 days together. It's really been awesome. What stands out for me is the love being shared by everybody. Thank you. Positive vibes is like, it's just unbelievable. It's very catching and all that. Everybody looks so well. Everybody looks very beautiful. And I have to quickly add the last thing is just seeing Beauty in Yekpemi and Abigail and some other sisters I haven't seen in a long time has been the icing on the cake for this reunion for me. So thank you to the organizers and thanks for everything.
As adults, we still so much love ourselves. We still relate as we used to do as children, and meeting so many sisters after 40 years. Some of them have never met again since we left school 40 years ago. But during this reunion period, I've met them. I'm so happy, and I'm really glad they are still even more loving, more than how it used to be when we were children.
This is my first reunion. I'm attending for secondary school, and I really appreciate attending this function, getting to meet people that I've met before and a lot more that I haven't met at all. You know, reigniting that union, that friendship is key. You know, and all the activities we've had in this reunion have been so successful, so touching. So I'd like to appreciate the planning committee. I'd like to appreciate all the colleagues that have sacrificed in one way or the other.
I think it's the size, the sheer size. This is my third reunion. Every other one has been destinations, smaller groups, but I'm just happy to see so many of us, and all of us actually happy to be here as far as I can see. I had already made up my mind that no matter what, I would enjoy this reunion, and I am really having the lifetime of my life. One life to live, no rehearsals, no do-overs. I will live it well. Thank you, sisters.
That God has given us good health, life to see ourselves after 40 years of leaving school. And I pray God will continue to be with all of us and strengthen our health and strengthen the works of our hands and make us closer to Him. In Jesus' mighty name.
What stands out in this 40th reunion? The fact that we have all come together after 40 years. God has been really, really faithful to us. And just seeing some people that I have not seen in 40 years, the sisterly love, the bond, like we're never out of school.
I think really just the fact that we took time out to remember our colleagues who are not here anymore, that was very special. And then being able to go back to QC after all these years and give back to the school, that was really, for me, those are my two highlights. Everything has been great, but those are my two highlights.
I would say it's the sisterhood. I was a day student, so I really didn't know many of my classmates. I knew most of them in Form 3, but I didn't really know my classmates. But now through this reunion, this particular reunion actually, I'm getting to know my classmates, I'm getting to know they're very compassionate, I'm getting to know that I can call on my sisters. I actually watched something today. It said, the 6 people that will carry your caskets are your crew. And I realized that 84Set is my crew. And that they will come out for me any day, anytime. To dance. Everybody knows the MP loves to dance.
I don't seem to have aged at all. The love, the fellowship, it just stands out so much, and I will be back.
It was being able to meet friends I'd not seen for many, many years. And it was like I saw them yesterday. bonding and all of that. And having seen ourselves how we are now, how we were then, sharing, talking about our past lives, memories, and it was a lot of fun. It's been very, very joyful spending time with my classmates.
Just a sisterhood. Everyone has matured in their own ways. Not everybody is where they want to be. None of us is really where we want to be right now. We are all still striving. I was able to, I'm more appreciative of where I am. Now, after the 3 days, I didn't stay in the hotel, so I've been shuttling back and forth. But I'm more appreciative. I'm very thankful to God.
Is that, I get to meet a lot of persons that I've not met for a long time, and it gives me joy. It's a memory that I will not forget. It gives me joy, peace, and I feel alive again. It was as if that youthful age is still in me, and I'm so happy with it. I bless God for this reunion. Thank you very much, and thank you to all organizers of this reunion.
What stands out for me in this 40th reunion package? The joy, the fun, the fact that we're here, we're standing, we're laughing, we're dancing, we're singing. There's some people here I haven't seen in 40 years, and it just brings me so much joy to see.
The reunion has just been awesome. I can't add to it. I'm just so grateful that I came. If I didn't come, I'm sure I would have cried and cried. I'm really honest, I would have cried if I didn't come. I'm so glad I came. I want a special shout out to Moji Okufora that convinced me to change my ticket to be here. Thank you.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing. I mean, every single aspect of it. The people, the events, the coming together of everything. It's just been, I'm so grateful I'm a part of it.
It's just been an amazing time. Memories that we will hold on to. All that can never be secret. I just love the fact that we have had an amazing few days together. Some we haven't seen ourselves in 40 years, and here we are, gathered together. All airs let down, and we are just having the best time of our lives. I'm sure. I won't change this for anything. This is the best thing that we will be doing at this time. And the most memorable thing for me in what we have done is when we remember that the Platinum Sisters, and I happen to have had the privilege of sharing the word. It was inspiring for me, that I could inspire others. I could let them see that though they were gone, they were still with us. They were now in a better place where we're all hoping to go. That to me is my takeaway. It's the best part of this. Everything has been excellent, priceless and everything, but that was so emotional. And I just thank God that we can remember them, and those of us who are here, we're still here. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus.
And everything was special about it. I've heard legendary tales that reunions are places of fighting and quarreling and other things, but I believe God was very gracious to us, and of course, this is the most attended reunion, and the people that take credit for it is each and every single sister. Number one, the committee was marvelous, but also the sisters too that came traveling from far and wide, spending money. They were those that sponsored other people. So it was really awesome. Every aspect of the reunion was awesome.
Everything has been so wonderful, from the beach day to the day at Queen's College for the project, and ending up in Ola's house for the party, and today's gala night. Everything has been amazing, but I think particularly what has been most really what has been most
wonderful to me is the kinship, the friendship that have even stronger for being together, and the committee, the organizing committee are just a bunch of amazing, talented women, and the coordination, the planning was really awesome, and I think maybe that probably I would say is what would stand out most for me, the committee members and how this was how this was planned and delivered.
Just how lovely everyone has been, smiling, laughing. I've really had fun. Everyone's let their head down, no airs about anyone. Any small squabbles were settled quickly. No, we've all had fun. We've all really had fun. It's been a pleasure. It's been fun. And I want to say thank you to the organizers and to everyone who's been here, because as a group, we all made it happen. Thank you.
What stands out to me is the sisterhood and how we had some of the sisters hosting us. They hosted us in their homes in the resort, and they provided food, drinks, the camaraderie, everything was so beautiful. It just brought back lovely memories that I'll forever be grateful for.
It really is just the connections. It's like we just left school yesterday. It's been really fun and warming, heartwarming, just connecting with all the lovely ladies here tonight. And I just said to somebody, we really don't have to wait for another 40 years. We should try and do this as often as possible. If it's every other year, we should try and stay in touch and communicate. So thank you very much, and to all the organizers who very patiently put this together, thank you so much. This has really been wonderful. Thank you.
I reflect on everything. I remember some things I was in school, giggles, the chats, the chit-chats, the playfulness as kids, and now church successful women in different fields. It can only be God.
The sisters have all come together, and to have this grand ceremony, I have to say a very big thank you to the organizing committee. And they pulled this off. This is the best reunion we've had ever. They continue.
The fact, the ease with which we are all just bonding after so many years, and it's just so wonderful to have all of us together. And with the knowledge that life is too short, this is a great privilege, and thank God for everything.
The president of this year group is a wonderful lady, Bimbo, who I didn't think anybody would have to work hard on me to do anything, but I think out of the goodness of her heart, she really worked. She really worked hard on me. To the last minute, she made sure I turned up. She said, Remy, there's just that thing about turning up in your year group celebration. And she stayed on it. I wasn't in the country. She kept calling and calling. And I just want to appreciate her. In fact, I told God when I was coming, I said, I've come not because I'm a member of this year group, but I've come to appreciate people Afam for the love, the steadfastness, and the duty that was given unto her. She took it personally, and she made sure that every single one of us turned up at least for tonight, which is the grand finale of this 40th reunion package. And I just want to tell you people that I love you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all my friends. I don't want to call any names, but I know I have friends forever, in Queen's College, and I'm glad, I'm grateful. I'm glad I'm here. I give God praise, I give God glory, and I thank Him for the confident woman I have grown to be, which I think coming to Queen's College was a major part of that decision, and I think I just give God thanks.
There was a passion to get everybody together. That's what stood out for me in this reunion, and we've had a lot of fun coming together.
The reunion itself, reuniting with my sisters, some I have not met in so long, for some 40 years. since we left Queen's College. And for some that I met along the way all these years, I'm happy to see them again. And coming together, one thing that I see has happened is that all the immaturity, all the playfulness, should I say? No, we didn't lose the playfulness, but you know, the immaturity, I think it's all gone. We're all just so happy seeing each other, grateful for life, grateful for the opportunity to still be here, especially as this reunion, we were able to, you know, make out the time to remember our sisters that have passed. So being alive and being able to celebrate this reunion is a gift, and that's the best part of this package, just being alive and being together again.
I think it's the fact that even post 40 years, nothing really has changed. You know, we just took off just as if it was yesterday we left each other. So that's really a hallmark of true sisterhood, and I appreciate that greatly.
Organizing celebration has been awesome, and the best part for me was the solar project at the school. And I want to use this medium campaign for annual projects in the school. I think that is a legacy that we can leave. And I also want to use this medium to campaign that our reunions in Lagos, if we save all that money from jetting around the world and we put it into the school, we'll probably bring it back to a standard that possibly our grandkids can go to, if not our own kids. I think most of our kids will have finished that stage by now. So thanks to the organizing committee.
How everybody was helping Beauty and Abigail. The selflessness and the compassion and the kindness that I saw in the Queens, who always made sure these two ladies were included, brought me to tears.
At 40! Happy celebrations, everyone!
QC 40 years after. Thank you, Jesus.
I'm fine too, that's good. You are cool too, that's good. Let's see if I come for a reunion. It's a